right. Thank you so much for being here, especially in the afternoon time, just around lunch. My name is Subbu. I'm part of Itachi Vantara, and I report into our CIO. I'm a senior director. In the last couple of years, I've been doing a lot of AI. So yes, this topic is going to be on AI. It's funny how at the beginning we all wanted to hear about AI, but now we don't want to hear about AI. Um, but yes, we're going to talk about AI, but AI that's centered around people. Okay? Before I go to this next slide, I want to do a quick poll, just raise of hands. How many of you are tech leaders in the group over here? Tech leaders. Okay, I see a few hands, beautiful. How many of you are engineers? Think of computer engineers, software developers, application developers, sysadmins. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Hey, before I show the slide, don't take offense. We all know this. There's no surprises here.
Excuse me.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Thanks. All right, so before I show the slide, don't take offense. We all know this AI bias. I asked Microsoft Copilot and Perplexity. Apparently, these models think that these are the white males are the ones that can do these professions, right? So there's nothing surprising here. We've heard this bias. There's nothing surprising here. But the surprising part is, what, after 3.5 years of ChatGPT coming out, we still get the same results? Are you serious? Right? So clearly there's a problem here, right? And for some reason, I don't know if you guys noticed this, all the leaders think that standing with their arms crossed is cool. So anyways. All right, so clearly AI is everywhere. It's not for everyone just yet, just yet. And maybe we can change this, yeah? So we'll get into it. The stories continue. And I talked about this one simple example, but you can see a lot of these stories. You see these stories every day. You'll hear about these in the news all the time, right? So there was an AI resume screening intentionally aged out some people, right? So people over a certain age group, or Uber Eats facial recognition algorithm blocked certain African American individuals, or Meta's housing ad algorithm, even though there were qualified groups of people, did not show certain ads. Of course, it's the same pattern, right? But the question is, are people intentionally building these evil AI systems? I don't think so, right? So it's just that AI inherits our bias. We feed data into the AI, and that's what shows up, right? The bigger question, though, is who's in the room? Who's involved? Who are the people that are coming up with these ideas, number one? Who's building, designing it, and who's testing it, and who's eventually using it? I think if we bring the right people into the room, hence the topic, inclusive AI programs, I think we can make some progress. Now, this is, of course, a bigger issue, a broader issue. I'm not trying to address this. But you take this into an organization, what happens? The same thing. Luckily, we're all tech folks. We have early access to AI, yes? When I say access, I don't just simply mean license. License is one thing. Anyone can get a license. But the knowledge, the training, the competency to go figure it out. If there's an error, you guys know where to go, right? Are you guys going to go to Google or AI? I think there are certain things that can still use Google, by the way, so you don't have to go to AI for everything. So let's keep doing, right? So IT and tech folks get access to AI, but our perspective is so narrow. We only know what we know, right? So maybe we can put AI in our service management systems, or maybe in our operations, but it doesn't make such a big impact. Whereas, if you take employees in every corner of the organization, HR, finance, legal, and get everyone on board, and if people understand what AI can do and what it cannot do, I think transformation will begin. So that's what my story is going to be. I'll talk about this. And I've done this over the last 18 months. It's a lot of work. A lot of people are involved in this. But I tell you, it's totally worth it. And you'll see why at the end of this presentation. All right. So I call this a repeatable innovation cycle, meaning we were able to repeat it multiple times. So we started with the awareness phase. ideation capability and execution, even though it's kind of like laid out sequentially, some programs did happen outside of the sequence, so don't get too stuck with the sequence. I'll go into each one of these in deep dive, and please save your questions. I'm happy to answer your questions in a little bit. I think we'll have time today. All right, first up, this is an AI Learning Week. An AI Learning Week is basically a conference-style program, just like this one, or any other conference that you've been to, like where you're going from one session to another session back to back. There's a lot to learn. You're stretched, you're uncomfortable, but man, there's just so much energy, right? Even in this room right here, there's so much energy. And when people leave that week, they have a newfound energy. Now, our goal wasn't necessarily to make everyone an AI expert. Obviously, you can't do that in a week, right? But at least kickstart that learning journey. We started with IT, and these are good numbers, by the way. Our IT organization is about like 330 people, so that's a good number right there. Our finance group was about like 450 people. Again, great number there. A lot of engagement. If you see certain numbers over here, like in finance, we had 146 people attend 10 or more sessions. And I think that's huge. Now, of course, once you do one or two functions, the word gets out, and people are thrilled, people are excited, and more functions want to join. I'm actually talking to 3 different functional leaders right now to do a similar setup. Down below, a sample of sessions that we did, from fundamentals of AI to prompt engineering to RPA. I have a lot of my folks sitting in here that were all part of this and running those sessions. Now, we used our internal experts to run these sessions, but if you don't have them, it's OK. There are plenty of vendors out there that will come in and do a workshop for you. It's not so much about who's doing the workshop, it's about the energy that you can create. OK. All right, I'm stuck. All right, beautiful. So now that people have this newfound knowledge, what do they do with it? So we provided a structured program and said, like, hey, go come up with some ideas. Put together a little POC. And then submit it as a hackathon idea and present this in front of our leaders. This was so exciting for people, not only for the participants, but also for the leaders, because the leaders were like, oh my God, look at all these cool ideas, right? But here's the beauty of it. Down below, I have this quote from one of the finance folks who made it to the final round of the hackathon, and he said, in the last 15 years of being within that finance group, this is the most fun he's had. So that's awesome, right? All right, we'll keep going. Right after the AI Learning Week, a lot of people wanted to take some deep dives. Like, hey, I like this one particular platform. I want to learn more about it. So we offered a lot of these office hours that were weekly or bi-weekly. That helped. But then we also offered 2 other programs. One is the Citizen Development Program, which was primarily for people outside of IT. We said, like, hey, come in, let's learn a platform over the next many weeks. And then at the end of it all, if you finish a certification and an exam, we'll certify you as a specific developer. In this case, we have ServiceNow and RPA. In fact, our RPA manager is right here. He's run at least 2 or 3 citizen development programs. Thanks, Mathus. Those have been wonderful as well. People feel empowered. And I see Ivana sitting right next to him. Ivana was in the finance organization. Now she's part of my team because she did the citizen development program, and she was killing it, right? So, so that's a citizen development program. Then this reskilling program is you take someone who has a skill set and put them through a very immersive 90-day program where they learn something new. Now, of course, when GenAI came out, what, 2-3 years ago, we launched this program, and a good number of people, about like 20 of them, got certified. And then we did that same thing across multiple other applications and platforms. But here's a cool story, a similar story to Ivana. A desktop engineer who's had more than a decade of experience went through that program. Obviously, he was very enthusiastic and had a lot of energy. He learned a lot. Now, he is an AI and automation developer in my team. So quite life-changing, right? This one story goes into my happy folder. Obviously, we have all our success stories, but this one is special for me. All right, so this is the last one, last program. Of course, you had the AI Learning Week. Then we did the hackathon. We got a lot of these ideas. Now, how do you make sure those ideas just don't simply disappear? So we put together a cross-functional AI enablement office that can come together. I think the previous session we were talking about almost the exact same thing, like the intake process, prioritize those ideas, and then make sure those teams have the right support. When it comes to AI, yes, of course, you can find the right developer and whatnot, but also governance aspect, the legal issues, the cyber issues, you got to go through a lot of different processes. So we provided the support through this cross-functional unit. It's been about 6 months since we started this office. This was specifically around the finance function. And as you can see, the numbers are there, right? So the numbers are there. We'll deploy these 10 projects in the next couple of months or so. But more importantly, people are now starting to feel empowered because it was their idea. And not only they just simply sent it to IT, they co-created with our teams, and that's important. So this is what we have. We started with awareness, ideation, capability, and execution. There are some numbers here. You can kind of run this any way you want. Of course, I'm hoping some of the leaders here will take this back to your organization and try something, right? You can run this any way you want. But I think the first piece is fundamental. People need to know what is that AI can do. Of course, you can go, as tech folks, you can go tell them, but they are the ones doing the work day in and day out, and they need to be able to make that connection. They need to be able to connect the dots and say, like, oh, AI can do this. Oh, wait, this is my workflow, and this right here is my pain point. Let me pull it together. There were, of course, some learnings. But there were some things that we didn't really intend to happen, and that was beautiful. First up, man, once people know, oh, AI is good at this, and it's not good at this, very quickly that fear went away, and you'll see it too. The second one was what I was really surprised about. Obviously, we're running all these programs with various functions, and you don't realize how many relationships you build. In the last month, on the last 6 months to 8 months, I've met so many people than the last 8 years of my time with the company. So you start to build these relationships, which are really cool. And someone had actually talked about this, start with the problem and not the tool. Yes, of course, our leaders want us to use AI, right? I have a CFO who wants an AI agent for everything, right? So, but sometimes it don't have to be AI. It could be a simple script. It could be an automation. It could be an integration, right? So anything works, but I still say it's an AI agent to the CFO just to make him happy. And then this last one, we realized very quickly, one size doesn't fit all. You can't just have generic sessions across the board. So we started to tailor these sessions to each group. Now the next phase of this, okay, let's go to each persona. I know it's a bit more work, but each persona, and have those sessions tailored to a persona and their task. And I think that'll maybe make an even bigger difference. That said, I wanted you guys to take this, see what makes sense for your organization. Hopefully, you're in a position to at least have this conversation. If an AI learning week is too much for you, man, start with an AI learning day. I had actually thought about this more than 18 months ago, and I wanted to call it an innovation day where people come in and learn a bunch of things and then have a little contest with each other. It'll be really fun. So especially if you're in person, that would be great. Even if not, virtual works as well. Of course, right after that, you'll quickly find out who are the people that are so enthusiastic. Pull them together. Get them some more deep dive into certain capabilities. And then this last one, the moment you share 1 or 2 success stories, everyone starts to feel the peer pressure, right? So people are like, oh, I need to catch up. I need to do something. Then they start to talk about this. But not just the success stories, even just experiences. I mean, we've been piloting with AI for the last 2, 3 years, right? There are obviously a lot of failures, but a lot of learnings along with those failures. In fact, this one hackathon, a guy showed up, and he said, like, oh, this was my idea, and I did these 5 steps, and then I did this, but then guess what? At the end of it, it didn't work. But that was beautiful, because there was absolute learning in that experience. So celebrate both success and as well as pilot stories as well. That is all I had. I have my QR code from my LinkedIn profile. Feel free to connect with me, and I'll be happy to talk about anything AI. I'll leave you with this. Let's bring people along. Let's bring people along, get help from each other, and let's build these AI solutions together. Okay? I think with that, I still have some time. So I'm happy to open up for any questions. If there are any questions, please raise your hand. I think we'll have the microphone here, and we'll chat a little bit. I can't quite see. Let's see. Any questions so far? All right, someone has a question.
Thank you for the slide. I'm Matt. Hi.
Hi.
In one of the slides, you mentioned that the engagement was around 44%. And
Yeah.
my question is, how did you check this? What kind of measurements you take about this engagement? It was like the, I don't know. This is the question for you.
Sure. Yeah, no, a couple of ways. One was we specifically, as we started these learning weeks, we want to understand who are all the people that are attending the meetings, right? So the number of attendance people. But then after that, we had also a post survey where we sent out this information to people and get their feedback as well. And those were a couple of measurements, but you can go further, deep dive into it. There are some engagement metrics within certain, like Microsoft Teams has some engagement metrics that you can track. Those are not very accurate, but you can pull it together from different sources. That's how we did it.
Okay, thank you. I was just thinking maybe there is like a hidden, like a secret metric you found during this.
Not yet. Not yet.
I'm looking
Not
for
yet.
it, so thank you.
Not yet. Any other questions?
Hi, my name is Agatha. I have a question. Did you see any pattern? Who succeed, who are more satisfied? The people who has chosen easy, repetitive, simple task, manual work, those that we don't like and we want to, put it on AI, or those that have chosen the real challenge, something that
Sure.
does not work for a long time, etc.
Sure. I'll be honest with you. Most of the ideas that have come up are the easy, repeatable ones. Because it's right in front of you, it's staring at you, and it's screaming at you like, hey, automate this, right? So it's mostly been that, and it's easy to do. It's easy to get it out the door. So those were the quick wins. There were maybe a handful of more complicated challenges where you reimagine the entire workflow with AI, but those are far and few. Those are also complicated. There are some data challenges as well, right? So while there were at least one or two that have went into production, we haven't seen enough metrics yet to say, yes, this was a huge win just yet. I do think that wave is coming next. But people don't have time to think about it until they automate their manual stuff first. So that's basically what we're going after. Like, hey, at least take care of your manual stuff. Then you can step it up to that next level. So it's mostly manual stuff for now. Yeah. Good question. There's a question right here in the front.
Hi, I'm Monica. I just wanted to ask you, how did you manage to convince the higher-ups to spend, I understand, a lot of time and a lot of resources on that kind of program?
Sure.
Great job, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a good question, too. So we started with IT, right? So IT, we have a lot of influence in IT. So we were able to make this happen within IT. Once you have one story, that's very impactful. You take that story, we talk to the CFO. By the way, our CFO is a big fan of AI. Like I said, he wants AI agents for everything, so that helped. But he helped us set it up for the finance organization, but that's pretty much it. Once people started hearing these stories of, oh, IT and finance did their AI learning weeks, very quickly, literally everyone else wanted to get on board, right? So I think that helped. Sharing success stories really, really helps. You just need to find the right way and the right story to share, and you'll get some momentum going. Yeah. It still took time, by the way. It still took time. So any other questions? Beautiful. Hey, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And keep learning, keep connecting. Let's go. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.